Hi, it's Sailor Moon, Serena here. Doing my YouTube or U-hole my YouTube, but tube's a French borrowed word, so the English word would be U-hole live stream. Now I know that my live stream isn't going to be the most glee or the most Oh, hello! Someone's already came on right away. That's a first. Even though it doesn't say anyone's on, the shadow box says someone's on. And I know that my live streams aren't always, the most glee ones. I know I don't do any giveaways. I don't have, any over shout out box settings because I'm not a mate, you know, making things that were, things that when most folks go on a live stream, that's mostly what happens. So this live stream doesn't have any of that going for it. So yeah, that might be a grounds to why I don't get a lot of shift out. Well, my uploads and my lives do get some watching, some looking. But I'm going to get into something, and if you're still on, let me know if I'm right or wrong for feeling this way. Sometimes feel like I'm the black sheep of the Sailor Moon followership. You know how everyone even though you it said make another donkey long fight Sailor Moon. I think you meant Donkey Kong and I just read it wrong. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, we'll have to see how it goes. If I even know where he's at. Anyway, you know how even though you might belong to the same followership, you might, but doesn't mean that everybody's gonna, be your friend or stuff, you know. And some folks out there might not give you the on look or might, think that you're not, good enough. And me thinking I'm the black sheep don't mean coming off of anything bad. Yeah, I don't do things or think the way that everybody else in the Sailor Moon followership thinks. Yes, that's true, but it doesn't make it wrong. So, you know, like the first thing they might think, you know. So, yeah. And I don't know if I was right or wrong of thinking that way, but sometimes I do think that way. Sometimes, you know, that folks will, keep away from you. They'll say, "Oh, well, you're not as good as me or these other ones," you know. Now, yeah, they don't. Now, keep in mind, a lot of them don't know everyone, so that's probably true. But some of them probably think what I do is like wrong, you know. Like, oh no, he's not like everyone else on in the Sailor Moon followership. And the grounds to I think that is, yeah, Dwayne is a latecomer to the Sailor Moon followers, to being a Sailor Moon follower. A lot of these Sailor Moon followers have been followers for years, going back to when it first started. And a lot of them have almost every Sailor Moon thing ever made, you know. And a lot of them probably know a lot more, have watched every drawing film and drawing show ever made from it. They got every doll ever made. They got this and that. But I think Dwayne's wisdom on the show would mostly could trump theirs. Even though they might be against they might not like his take on things. But that's just what I feel. There's not really any truth to back it up. You know, like it's not like they ever talk to me. You ever know? Now, Some of you folks might wonder, you'll say, hey, Sailor Moon, Serena, why don't you have anyone's, over, overlooking your shout out box? Well, first off, that's a trust thing. And you have to have a lot of trust with folks to know, A, that they're going, not to do something wrong. B, they're not, but then again, how do they know what to look for? How do they know what to oversee and what not to oversee? Who do they know who to block and who not to block? How do they know? They don't know, you know. So even if I gave some folks and made some folks a overseer of my shout out box, they don't really know what to look for. They don't know what I would hush or what I would lock or what I would forbid. They don't know. So I don't want to be like other live streams where, everybody's got their got folks that they're overseers and they do their own thing, you know, and then you get hushed and locked for no ground sake or why, because the overseer got into his head you or she was doing something wrong. Not that they knew what, not that that's what they believed. Then who would I trust to even be an overseer to my shout out box? I don't know. I don't get the same folks on my live streams all the time. So yeah, how would that work? You know? No, this is not my work. I do YouTube for fun. This isn't a work for me. Not a YouTube mate at all. So if that's what you're asking, and when it, yeah. So hopefully that answered your asking thing. And you see, I keep having this thing about, well, that I was going to be, it says, where do you work? I don't have any work. Dwayne doesn't have any work if you're asking him. But if you're asking me, well, it's hard to say if you're asking me, Sailor Moon says, you're asking me. Well, if you're asking Dwayne, the answer to the thing is no, he doesn't work full time or half time. And I know there are some folks out there that get angry at anyone who doesn't work. If you're on the interweb, they'll be angry at you. They'll say you're lazy. They'll make up stuff about you. And that's what happened. Now, hopefully, you're going to be onlooking of that. See, the only onlooking of Dwayne choosing not to work full time or half time or whatever. Some folks are not. You say that on the interweb, and you get haters and trolls on you, saying, "Oh, you're lazy. Oh, you don't. Oh, you're lazy. You're a blood. You're this. You're that. Shame on you for not choosing to work full time or half time." And then you say, oh, but you're on Team Stronghill Guild, and then they give you shit for it. See, I hope it's not going to be like that. Because I did happen to deal with folks like that back in the day. Well, if it would have been a thing by now. Someone would have said something. And getting back to the whole shout out box thing, even if I did name folks to be overseer, how would they know what to look for? Do you tell them what to look for, or do you just say, all right, you're overseer now, hush and lock and forbid anyone you want? you know but then again, I never done it. I've always I've always kept, running the lead over my own shout out box. So, well, all right. So it seems to me, this is just me thinking this, Sailor Moon goes, all right, sorry. I keep thinking that I'm going to have this cool live stream and everything's going to be great. And then I know I'm going to talk about. And I never know what I'm going to talk about. I just go on and wing it like I always do. Being a meatball head or a ditz or a klutz. Which I guess I'm a lot of that. A lot of folks over a lot of scathing. A lot of folks give me scathing and say, oh, well, there's no way that I can onlook or look up to or see anything, and or to someone who is a ditz and a klutz and a sob baby. They forget that when Sailor Moon started, and I don't care which offshoot you're offshooting from, I was 4 between years old and 9 between 92 YL. If you're going by the Toei and the Viz offshoot, I guess 9 between 95 YL if you're going by the Deke work. Or whatever, 9 between 94 YL if you're going by the Renaissance Atlantic Entertainment or New Birth, West Sea Glee one. Now, how would you deal with it? That's how a lot of folks are. And then someone tells you, then you have someone like Luna or whatever tell you, oh, God chose you and you got this might. Now you got to go out and fight fiends and be over good doer. Yeah, I think you'd be frightened too. I think you would be, all that stuff too. And that's just the way a lot of folks are. Oh, I grow up over, over the 4 followings of Deacon Cloverway, 5 if you want to look at Toei or Viz. But I am still a ditz. Still a klutz and a ditz sometimes. And sadly, it just seems to be, it's almost if okay, I get it. Everybody has their own followership, and everyone, and I never understood is why some folks, hate my show. Well, I shouldn't say hate. I mean, back in the day, you had folks that hated the Deke and the Cloverway one. And they kept saying, hey, well, it should have been like Toei did. Why did they make so many skims and shifts and cleans and cuts to it? Then Viz came out, and they're like, this is the shit. And instead of guilting you for liking the Deke and Cloverway one, they would start guilting you by saying, you need to like the Viz one now, because that's the true one. Well, you know how those folks are like. There's always going to be folks and any followership to behave that way. And I don't know if I still have anyone truly watching my live stream or not. I mean, it does say 2 folks are watching. I got 2 thumbs up, so Well, anyway, I just want to say that why do we do what we do on YouTube? Because there wasn't anyone else doing it. That's why. There wasn't anyone else on YouTube. I mean, now it's like a big thing, but back then it wasn't. And I know it might not be a big deal, and I might not get the onlook from the Sailor Moon followership, So who really cares about getting their onlook or not? Either they're going to give it to it or not, I know there's always going to be these floors to the followership, and on the top are the gatherers. At least some folks believe they're on the top, and in the middle is like the show players or the self players, and at the bottom is like folks like us who play with dolls or do doll shows. If there's floors to the Sailor Moon followership, which I guess there is my belief, who came along and made all the ranks for it? And why do folks only stick to those floors? I don't know. So it says it says so far I only had 2 folks watching, and they must still be watching. And they got 2 thumbs up going and 2 folks watching, but no way to know if they are followers or not. And I guess they're still watching. They haven't had anything to say since what they've said. And once again, I always feel like I should say sorry to everyone that comes on my live stream thinking that it's going to be like, I don't know, like they think, oh, they think I'm going to be having these giveaways or something. Or they might think, oh, it's a YouTube mate of some kind. So there's going to be the over shout out box and I can give them gal or something. But it never shifts out to be that way. So all the things that other folks might do and have on their live streams, it doesn't seem to be on mine. So that might be a shift off for some. They might go, oh, well, it's nothing more than some Irwin Sailor Moon doll that was probably made somewhere, I guess I'm going to say somewhere in 20 or at least 2001 YL. That was like many of them sold over the years. This offshoot, most likely, I don't know where it was sold back in the day. So, yeah, I'm sorry if my live stream or live streams that I've made over the years, either they be Google Hangout or live stream, are never as glee as anyone else's out there. And it's like if there's a standard to it, then I'm sorry. But I guess you folks must like what I'm doing because you're still watching it, though. So, would say there are other things that I've been thinking about. I don't know. Someone gave me a thought about, oh, they need to fight Donkey Kong for the 2th time or something like that. Well, that's hard to say because I don't know where I put him at. And there's no way to know if the new make or new take would make the same watch time that the first one did. And yes, in a way my show has been kept alive by everything it gets done on its YouTube fairway. And I know at the end of the day, it's never ever going to be as cool as the other ones out there, So I'm just sorry that my live stream might not live up to what other folks think. Because everyone has their own way of doing their live stream. So yeah, it can't live up to everybody else's thing. So yeah. But I've been doing this for soon to be 10 years come next month. Can you believe it's going to be 10 years of Sailor Moon for life on YouTube? 10 years of 10 years of doing uploads and lives, 10 years of, making friends, I guess, if you call folks on YouTube your friends or not, or you side, whatever. A lot of folks say, oh, well, a friend, them, and they can help you out and stuff. They're like, you don't really know these folks. So, yeah, it's true. It does come back to the whole trust thing. It says 10 years. That's right. Next month, we'll make 10 years that my YouTube fairway, Sailor Moon for Life, got started. It said only wanted to stop by to say, dude, I guess, today, sadly. Well, all right. Thank you for stopping by then. And I'm sorry if I don't know how to say that one word right. BUD, bugged? I don't know. So, yeah. And my YouTube live stream might not be, might not be as cool as everybody else's. So, now I'm going to get into everything everybody likes to ask me. They're like, well, how is it that you have kept doing this for 10 years, Sailor Moon? 10 years, Serena. Yeah, 10 years ago, it'll be 10 years next month, the year day. How all got started was that I made for about, 10 years ago. And when we go through the yesteryear of all my YouTube fairways. So first there was Sailor Moon Red. And I don't think any of you folks were around when Sailor Moon Red was around. And Sailor Moon Red was the first of many of my YouTube fairways that ran from about 2008 YL to 2010 YL when it got hacked. Don't know how. Then the next one was Sailor Moon Red 1, only lasted for like from 2010 YL to 2011 YL, and then sadly started the first fake flag. Followed by Sailor Moon's Best One, only a year, fake flagged. Now we're really getting sad now because we're going from 2011 to 2012 YL, and is when all the fake flagging shit truly starts to take off. Then there was Sailor Moon's Best 2, 2012 YL, fake flagged. Sailor Moon on YouTube. Sailor Moon on YouTube, misspelled a U, 2012 YL, fake flagged. Sailor Moon Red 1, 2, 3, 4, fake flagged, but led to Sailor Moon Tube 11, which I ended up calling Sailor Moon for Life, which I believe was a more greater name. Yeah, it's both my handle and the name. So, yeah, that's how it happened. So, that's how we got to where we are now. And I have gone through a lot of things over many years. Mostly bullying, which I guess everyone goes through, sadly. But there were also a lot of good things too. Yeah, well, 23rd between YL is like, yeah, 2012, well, the 23rd between YL, that was it. Then it goes like that. And I know that I know that my sundriest and many haters and trolls out there who have hated me, hated Dwayne and his work since 2008 YL, or at least towards the end of 2008 YL when he first started making films, have still probably got their same beliefs and thoughts. And it might irk them or make them angry to learn that 10 years later, Sailor Moon for Life is still around and outlasted all the former Sailor Moon fairways that were made. The one that they hacked, the ones they got down by fake flagging. And over the day, I'm always, worried about that shit happening again. Well, the hacking, well, let's be earnest about that. I have the hacking only happened once. And most likely, whatever step word I've been working has still been at least strong enough they never guessed it. Because I know there would be someone who would love to take all this away from me. And I worked hard to make this happen. There are soon to be 10 years of uploads and lives. No shorts. Because I don't have no wireless Wive far ringer or far speaker, so there'll be no shorts until someone on YouTube or YouHole chooses one day, or YouWay chooses one day to say, hey, we're going to make it where you can make lives on your reckoner now. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So it goes, someone says, 10 years of Sailor Moon for Life. It said, I only wanted to stop by to say you got to work today. I got to work today, sadly. All right. Yeah. Well, good luck then. Anyway, and everyone always likes to have a big fight over my name. You got some folks that call me Serena. Some folks call me Usagi. Some call me Victoria. They never ask me what my true name was. They just spend time fighting over it. And they're like, oh, well, Usagi was your first name. Oh, yeah, need be in the Viz and Toei, the Toei and Viz world, yeah. But in the Deacon Clivaway world, my name was Serena. So that's why I don't understand why so many folks in the Sailor Moon followership would say that they did watch the Deacon Clivaway stuff back in the day, or if they watch the Viz stuff now, but in their head, they're like, oh, I'm going to call her this. I got to clean some things on in my reckoner. For anyone who's, still watching. Need be you don't do this, but I do. And someone need be asked me, they'd be like, oh, well, you ever think you should get someone to oversee your shout out box? First off, I don't get the same folks on my live streams all the time. If I did, then I would do it. But every live stream you never get the same folks, even if they're your followers or not. You see, I'm not well known. I'm not really that well beloved. So the followers I have is the followers I have, and they don't watch my work every day, and they don't watch my live streams all the time. So even if I made someone an overseer of the shout out box, well, there's no way they're going to be back for the same one. Back again. It goes, I'm here. Well, that's good to know. So, you know how some folks have overseers of their shout out box? Even if I did that, it's not like you or anyone else would come back the next time and you wouldn't know what to look for. See, I did it one time. And I said, okay, someone is I made someone an overseer in my shout out box. And they didn't do anything. I said, well, why didn't you do anything about someone who is doing something wrong in my shout out box? They said, you didn't tell me. So I got to tell my overseers in my shout out box what to do. I guess so. And you got to have trust with these folks. And I don't even know how to do it. I mean, let me go look and see what my settings I have, what they give me to work with. It says go to Fairway, put, squeeze the word, flag, take away, put worker on timeout, hide this Fairway, or add as overseer. Now, if I would add you as overseer, let's say, then you would be an overseer, but I don't really know if you would. I don't know if you would come back every time I did a live stream. For all I know is this might be the only live stream you ever come on, and you might be an overseer. All right, so let's say I do make you an overseer, and I click on that. Do I have to tell you what? Do I have to tell you what to do? And now it says, all right, it says overseeing the overseer can block words, shift the live talk, have standards. It said the standard overseer can review and okay, I don't even know even which one to put you on. I don't know which one to put you on here. It would say block words, shift the live chat settings, can also have the capabilities of the Standard. So I guess I'll give you this one. All right. So now I just unput you of an overseer. I haven't only done this once. I never have made anyone else overseer beyond that one time. So now I guess now you have the oversight. But here's what I would want you to look for if you're still on. If you see someone writing something that's shameful, something that you feel goes against the YouTube followership oversight, trolling or bullying or whatever, then you can either hush them or lock them, give them a timeout, whatever you want to choose to do. But I can still do that stuff to myself. Most of mine just hush and I just block folks from my YouTube fairway when that happens. So we'll see what happens. Because I've never done this before. I mean, I only done it once before. So, all right. So anyway, yeah, now you're an overseer now, but I don't know how good that's going to be for you because you might not come back the next time I do a live stream. Or need be, you will. But then again, there would have to be some trust between me and you that you weren't going to do something wrong with the setting or gift or rank or whatever that I gave to you. Because you do got to have trust with folks not to start doing things that are wrong. So it goes, I'm here. Well, while we're at it, let's go see what your fairway looks like. It said, need be, you should open a Discord website and then you could come live. First off, I did have a Discord in the past, in 28 between YL. And for some time, everything was great. I was making some friends. I was talking. I had some likenesses up. I didn't really have any films up, but I had some likenesses up. And I was doing what I thought I was following their followership oversight. So one day I go on and I get met with a word that looks like a slide of shit. I am not making this up. It goes, you have been blocked. If you want to learn why you have been blocked, get a hold of a Discord overseer. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to do that. So I was just done with it. And then every time I wanted to make a new Discord fairway or whatever they call it on there, it would either say, sorry, your handle's been taken. Sorry, this wire has been taken. And even if I was lucky enough to get the two things to work, this step word isn't strong enough. There'd always be some bullshit. So yeah, I'm not on there anymore. The website always seeks some way to handicap me anytime I seek to make a new fairway with them. And I think I know what happened. Here's just my belief. I think there may have been someone who works there who's a Sailor Moon follower, came on one day and said, oh, I don't like the way you play a Sailor Moon. Or someone flagged me or fake flagged me, and someone at Discord said, oh, yeah, you're not following the followership oversight. Boom, gone. So yeah, and I could never ever be on again. Every time I did, there'd always be some hang up with the handle, the step word, the wire, whatever. So yeah, that's never going to work. The only websites I have a fairway on is Facebook or Learbook or Twitter or Gilgil, and that's it. No, I don't have Twitch. Sorry, I don't have that. If you have a live stream on YouTube, if you can live stream here, why would you want to go over there to do it? It said, yeah, right. You wrote, yeah, right. Where you talk, yeah, I guess after I made you overseer of my shout out box. So hopefully that answers the asking thing about that. You know. And if you want, there's a film I made, I think either this year or at least sometime last year, when I made a film talking about the whole thing that happened on Discord. So no, that's never gonna work. And Twitch, forget about that. If I'm already making uploads and lives on one website, makes that website no, it doesn't make them any more good. I know everybody likes to make a big thing out of it. Yeah, if you're a mate there, they make a big thing out of it. But if you're a non-mate, who really cares that much? It said you could send us a link to that film. Well, let me see if I can send you that. Let's go see. I have to. I have to do some pasting. I'm going to do some pasting copying first. Knowing me, I'll probably make a mistake on the spelling. And it will come up and say, oh, sorry. There is no film by that. All right, let's see. Shit. Means I gotta go into it. Bullshit. I gotta go into it, sadly. Because the only way I'll let you paste and copy something is if you go into it. So that means now I got that on my watch yesteryear. And someone out there is gonna probably am up telling me, you only got 65 watches on it. Well, there it is. There is the link. Well, there's the feed to it. It said no hang up. It says take your time. And I know at the end of the day you're gonna probably say, oh well, Sailor Moon, Serena, you should have gotten more than only 50, only been 65 watch, 55 looks. Yeah, well, if it was anyone else making that film from the YouTube fairway, you're welcome. Then need be. You know. Shift my neck when I get that done. Well, as of right now, if you're watching, as of right now, it's gonna probably only gonna be 56. Well, no, well, yeah, well, sorry that I not as, good as all the other Sailor Moon followers out there. Don't got every single Sailor Moon thing, but that's what it is. Well, whatever. Who really cares about that? I don't really think I would meet. I don't really care if I meet the standards of the Sailor Moon followership anyway. You ever know when you go on other folks' YouTube fairways? You go on their lives. I need to say, and they got so many folks writing stuff in their shout out box, and you think, well, they're gonna pick you, and they never pick you. Yeah, kind of sad, you know. And that's when I start. That's like, yeah, well, that's, you know, as if they're ghosting you. As if some of these folks are like, oh, well, it's a black sheep, but a Sailor Moon followership again. One of those folks who plays with dolls, not a big gatherer, doesn't got it. Oh, whatever. Well, anyway, I just want to say that, you know, just want to tell you all there is, a lot of folks like to, give me shit over the years for, offshooting everything from my Deacon Cloverway work. Well, that's the one, and it wasn't for that. Well, 2 months from now, it's going to be my birthday. Well, I mean, my birthday, Sailor Moon's birthday. I mean, not Dwayne's, my birthday. June 30th or 6 month to 30th. The next month is going to be 10 years of Sailor Moon for life. So anyone who has been a follower for at least 10 years will know it was 10 years of all the uploads and the lives and all that stuff. Yeah, been doing this for 10 years. And you see, when we started this, and I don't know, 10 years we've been doing this one. There have been many others before that. As you can see beside me over there are all my other friends, my other fellow Sailor Fighters, friends, foes. I know it doesn't look as good as all those other Sailor Moon doll gatherers, that have their whole room. They got every single Sailor Moon thing ever made and is being made. They'd probably laugh and say, oh, you don't got a big enough doll gathering like I do. Or a lot of them, it's just a shift off because they don't give any love to their dolls. Oh, they might have a room with every single Sailor Moon doll ever made, and every Sailor Moon shirt ever made, or any book ever written or laid. But do they give it the same love? I don't know. And they like to look down on me as if this is wrong. Well, I don't think it's wrong. Well, now I got no one else on my live stream anymore. Started out with 2, out 4. Now it's done to none. Now it's done to none. Yeah, and the 5. Yeah, I know my live streams aren't that glee. I know, I know not that glee. Yeah, you see, there's this bugger flaw that keeps on happening on live, where it'll say, "Oh, there's no one watching your live stream." They're like, "Well, you're still watching it," and it says you're not. It's like, "Oh yeah, whatever," And I know if I feedback them about that, either one or two things will happen: nothing, or they'll end up saying, "Oh well, you're the only one that's feedbacking us about it, so that's it." Well, have you been a follower of my Fairway for 10 years, or is this the first time you ever came on? What I also need to ask you is, have you been a Sailor Moon follower, or you just, I know that's like, I don't know if I know that's a dumb thing to ask someone, but you're thinking that they had to at least known something about it before they watched it. And my guess is you might be a newcomer to my Fairway, and if you are, then follow me. If you already have, it said I'm the first time here. It's my first time here. So, what made you want to even watch this live? Because you saw a Irwin Sailor Moon doll on there, and you said, "Cool." Don't see that on the show every day. Yeah. Well, it's true. You don't. There are very few folks that do what I do. I mean, yes, there was Sailor Moon Jacob when he was around on and off, but he's gone. And there was some other woman called, I don't know, whatever you want to call her, Tina Warrior something, but she tends to do films with not only squeeze dolls from Sailor Moon, but from other live drawing films. Besides her and me, there's no one else doing it. Oh, you got Mario and Sonic and SpongeBob and Mickey and all the other ones. You got them, yeah. But you don't have anyone like me doing it. And before I came on YouTube, it's going way back to 2008 YL, there was no one doing it. And there won't be anybody else doing it. It said I subscribed half of your. I've been a follower for since I first saw a film. I think Sailor Moon fights Batman or so, but I thought it was funny. Then it went down mid. Then it went down the bunny hole. Well, I never fought Batman or whatever. I never fought, Wildermouse man, anything like that. But I think what you might be thinking of is when I fought the Joker, either the first time or the 20th time. Yeah, a lot of folks like to make the saying going down the bunny hole, like Alice in Wonderland or something. That must be where they're getting it from. But then again, you know, I like bunnies. They always keep saying they're like, "Oh, Usagi means bunny of the moon." Yeah, and Serena means it's a French borrowed name, which no, a Latin or French borrowed name. It's both. That means restful. Yeah, and that's when you're like, you don't see that every day. So you don't see that every day. Well, anyway, another thing that a lot of folks might wonder is like, oh, I don't know. Well, I gotta get something to drink, and then I've got water in here, so I'll just do that. Hard work it takes to hold a doll up to a shooter. I know someone might say that I just take Sailor Moon, put her near that, and shift her, hold the Reckoner up at her the whole time. I could do that. And that's the film you saw. I mean, I could do that, but then putting the shooter back, it's like, whatever. All right. So with that, there we go. Well, me and Darian or Tuxedo Max, whatever you want to call him, we got our pull open way ahead of everyone else. Everyone else hasn't gotten them open yet, so at least I got about 2 or 3 days in of swimming so far. You're like, how can you do that in the 4th month? Oh yeah, well there was some warm days in the 4th month. Where everybody else is like, the right ones in there won't have their pools opened until next month, and need be everybody else pools won't be open until that. So yeah, and I think and you wonder you wonder how long am I going to do this live stream for? Well, I guess until about 3. Or if I get anybody else on my live stream, which was funny. Now, now you probably think, when did I first start doing? Well, I've been doing upload for years, but I didn't start doing lives until at least, oh my God, to the end of 25th between while the 26th between while, when the brain trusts at YouTube or Uway took away the web shooter tool, and then I was doing Google Hangout for about a year and a half until I could get back to doing uploads. And I didn't start doing lives again until I guess about 28 between YL when Uway live stream or live streaming took the stead of Google Hangout, and then it was gone. It said I am from Germish land, so I cannot stick around much longer. I have to get up early tomorrow. It said I'll track you. It said we'll talk some other time. All right. And good night then. I had no idea, and over in Germish land it was late. All right. Well, looks like Sailor Moon says I might have to bring. Looks like Sailor Moon says there might not be anyone else watching after this, since my new follower, who is from Germish land, is going to be leaving soon, going to sleep, because it must be late over there. Whatever the time stead is, I don't know what the time stead over there is, but I would guess that Germish land probably has time steads. So whatever Reich you happen to live in over there has its own time stead or whatever. I don't know. It's about 9 p.m. All right. Then okay, good night. And next time I upload every day, and I do lives every once in a while, so you'll always going to see one of my films. Well, Sailor Moon says, I guess that's the end of my YouTube live stream. I don't really think anyone else is going to be coming on after this. I got one new follower, which is now an overseer. So I don't know how that's going to work. We'll just have to see if anyone else comes on and how that works, though. All right. Oh, look. Look at this. You know I like to eat sweets all the time. But don't tell Luna about this. She'll get on me about it. All right. Let's see. Buttercup. Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Buttercup. Put you down here. Come on, Mimi. Yay, Mimi. Come to see. No, we're not doing scratching. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Doggy. Hi, Yorkie. No scratching. Good Mimi. Good dog. Good girl. Good Yorkie. Good doggy. No scratching. We don't want to do a scratch. If anyone's watching, here you go, Mimi. Hi, Buttercup. It said have a good time, lad. It's about 9 p.m. Same to you. Well, looks like that might be the end of my YouTube live stream. I had at least some followers come on, some watchers come on. I got a new follower, made a new overseer for my shout out box. This new follower and of my fairway and of my shout out box happens to be from Germany or Germish land, which I guess that's something. So anyway, I don't know. So that's all the time I got. If you like this lot, oh, somebody else is coming on. I don't know who it is. I got 6 thumbs up now. You never know who it's going to be. You don't know if it's a newcomer or someone who's been a follower of your fairway for some time. You know? So, yeah. So yeah, that's how it goes. Like, it says, oh, let's see. It goes, cool stream, Sailor Moon. I like Sailor Earth Ernest too. Well, thank you for saying that. You know, being Sailor Earth is not a smooth for him. If you look all over the Sailor Moon followership, I guess I should say the one on YouTube or you side, you will everyone's got their own offshoot of Sailor Earth. And yeah, sometimes him doesn't always get the on look you think he would get. Because half of the Sailor Moon followership are like, well, there is no Sailor Earth. And the other half of the followership made their own Sailor Earth. You know how that goes. But what made Ernest P. Worrell, unlike all the other Sailor Earths, is one, he was he was Ernest P. Worrell. Two, he was a man. And I know that's like a big thing in the Sailor Moon followership. But would say that Sailor Star Fighter, Sailor Star Maker, and Sailor Star Healer broke that oversight. Dustin, Jordan, and Jillian. They broke the oversight. Long before Ernest did, long before Calvin Snoop Dogg did it. So that's Sailor Sun. Well, there's some drawings of Sailor Earth that I could show you before I end this YouTube live stream of what he looks like. Because he can't really shape shift like we're already in our Sailor, we're already shape shifted. And something he can't do. But here's some drawings. And I'm gonna go talk and see if he can let me show me some of the drawings he's got. Hey, you mind if I show some of the drawings You mind if I show you some of those drawings? Yeah, why not, Serena? Thank you, Ernest. He says I can show him the drawings. Keep in mind, these are the drawings I'm going to show you are 2 of the most beloved of all the drawings. If you're still watching. Well, here's the first one as him as Sailor Earth. Well, one of many ones. It's the way I always see him looking like. And then we got this one. You know, as Sailor Earth. You can't seek those drawings anywhere else. Oh, and yes, and there are some other ones, the early ones. Like, there's this one. I believe these were Nick 2021 drawings, or they were CK Smith 08 drawings, one of the two. And there is one other one out there, you know. But sadly I can't really get it out. I mean, yeah, I could. Yeah, not really what I could do. If I had a dryer, I could like draw it out, but I haven't had a drawer since 25th between YL. So anyway, yeah. Those were the drawings of Ernest P. Worrell as Sailor Earth. You know, And those are the ones that used to give out, when folks like say it's Sailor E, and he'd give these out and say, "Here, this is what I look like." Well, he wouldn't say no. He wouldn't say. He'd say, "Okay, this is me, Sailor E, or Sailor Earth now," and they would have his name, have his written out, you know, and and early on, you know, when he first was on our team, you could say, "Oh well, he was kind of," and Sailor Venus was kind of a little angry about it, but not as much because she already had her films going. She had film games as her being Sailor V and Sailor Venus before she ended up coming to our team. So having likenesses like that isn't probably a big deal, you know. And you might wonder, how is it to have me, Sailor Venus Mina, and Sailor Earth Ernest? Wow, it's almost, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, those are the ones he gave to us. Then he would give them out to other folks. Well, he wouldn't do that. But what he would do is he would leave it around in their wire box or whatever. I don't know, like saying Sailor E is here. You know, I don't know. That's just what he would do. Or sometimes they would always have, like, I don't know, like it was like a follower or a lover club or something. And they're like, you can get this likeness of Sailor Earth or something. And one time folks wanted drawings with him. So he did it and he wrote his name on it. He was like, here's my name. The truth is it was his wife Trukina who drew those likenesses of him. Then he would give them out. And someone asked me, when is Sailor Earth Ernest ever going to have a film talking about his beginnings? Well, that's going to come someday. Either got to write that as a saga and tale. That's going to come someday. If you know how Sailor Venus Mina got her start, then you're going to have a belief of how he got his start. That's going to come someday. I don't know when that film's going to be, or how long that film's going to be, or when it's going to happen. But it's in the works along with many other films. One of my goals is, before I end this live stream, is to at least get it to 10 years, because next month is going to make 10 years that I have 10 years of Sailor Moon for life. So anyway, that's all the time I got. If you like this film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the film he made this morning over here with Sailor Earth, talking about that he doesn't get any onlooks for being Sailor Earth. And Sailor Moon Serena, I'll see you later. And I'll end this live stream by saying, the fighter of right. And on behalf of the moon, I right wrongs and I win over evil, which means you.